Hey everyone, and welcome into our game preview this week. What a matchup coming up here at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium on Monday Night Football. A rematch of Super Bowl 57 between the Chiefs and the Eagles. My name is Matt McMullen, and who better to break down this matchup than Scott Van Pelt, one of the very best in the business, of course, from ESPN. He'll be hosting Monday Night Countdown on the field beginning at 5 p.m. Central Time in Kansas City. Scott, what's going on, man?
I'm fired up. I wish we would kick this thing now. I'm really excited for all of this. I mean, the game's one thing. I've never been to Arrowhead, and I don't know if there's a ton of room for us on the sidelines, but wherever they put us, we're excited to be coming out there.
I mean, what a first matchup to be here for. I mean, a Super Bowl rematch. It's Chiefs versus Eagles, two best teams in the NFL. Both teams coming off their bye. Should be just an awesome matchup. And my first question for you, just in general, what's a specific matchup you're most looking forward to in this game, whether it be the Chiefs offense against the Eagles defense or vice versa?
Vice versa. That Chiefs defense has really been their calling card this year. I think we're so spoiled and used to seeing Mahomes do Mahomes stuff, right? And just, he'll figure it out and you hang 40 some odd on somebody. But the defense has really been the reason they've been great so far, I think. And that's not to minimize Mahomes. I think we're kind of just numb to it all, but you know what I'm saying. So I just want to see, how does that defense stack up against this Philadelphia offense that is, I start to say unique. I'm a weird stickler about unique. Like rare means not many, unique means one. And I don't know if the Eagles offense is unique, but it feels rare that just their approach, their ability to run it, their ability to be multiple. I don't know what Hurts' knees situation is. He didn't look great in his last game. So that unit, Philly offense against Chiefs defense, to me, that's where this game is ultimately won and lost.
Well, you're right about the Chiefs defense. They've been phenomenal this year. They've allowed the fewest offensive points in the NFL this season, and we're entering week 11. They've just been awesome. What are some keys for the Chiefs defense in this game, do you think, to make sure they can slow down Hurts in this Philadelphia offense?
Good luck with A.J. Brown. I mean, he's been an absolute monster. It's funny because, you know that thing in sports where, like, Giannis got thrown out of a game recently for doing that, too small bit. Well, A.J. Brown, you could throw him. I'm a Washington fan, and Washington actually played Philly 2 games, had them down double digits in both games. They battled. But then in the game here in the nation's capital, Hurts just throws the ball up. They're not even 50-50 balls because he's just so much bigger than the defensive backs that are on him. And, whether you're going to have one man on him or you're going to sort of shift depending on where he is in formation, you're going to have to collectively figure out how to slow him down. But then, 6, much skinnier, but Devontae is nasty too. So, I mean, it's the running that Philadelphia does is kind of what makes them who they are. But then it's the ability for Hurts to sort of pick the guy he wants to beat you on a given possession, and the differences in the size of those wide receivers is just fascinating to me. Both great route runners, but ultimately, I think you've got to stop AJ, and that's been damn near impossible lately.
Yeah, well, second most receiving yards in the NFL, already over 1,000 receiving yards going into week 11. But again, it's a testament to the Chiefs defense that they faced a lot of these number 1 caliber receivers, and no one's really had a great game against them this year. Tyreek Hill is included in that from a couple weeks ago. So hopefully they can keep it going here against A.J. Brown. Now, looking at Patrick Mahomes and the offense, it hasn't quite been the offense that we've all expected. Of course, the standard is really high. It's still the number 13 scoring offense in the NFL this year. But what are your expectations for the Chiefs offense here on Monday against this Eagles defense?
I'm afraid the weather looks like a mess. Like I'm kind of a weather geek, and I've been eyeballing that just because I'm rooting for good weather just because I want it to be a fast track and I want everybody to be able to play well. It looks like it could be rainy. And I started to say I think we'll see the best version of the Chiefs offense. There's the whole Andy Reid bye record. We all know about that. And I know, Patrick was ill in that game against Denver. And Denver played fantastic in it. He won't turn it over 5 times. I'll bet you that as a baseline. But I think everyone, Matt, is waiting to see who's, 87, fine. I get it. You're going to throw it to him a lot. Who's it going to be? I really like Rashee Rice. I'm a Maryland guy, no secret. he was an SMU guy. I think he had 73 receptions against us last year, ballpark figure. And I was watching that guy, thought, I'd love to see where he ends up. Well, he ends up in a great spot, but everyone's waiting for somebody to take a step forward. And Rice has, but who's going to be the other person outside of Kelsey? And do we start to get some answers here in these coming weeks and months? And then you could, as a Chiefs fan, you could go, does it really matter? And the answer to date has kind of been no, because Mahomes makes whoever it is, much like Brady with New England back in the day. Did they have a true wide receiver one before they had Moss? Not really, but who did he have? Gronk. Same thing. It's the same kind of thing. So I expect to see a much different offense than we saw in Denver. We're all allowed to have a one-off. We're all allowed to not be the best version of ourselves every single day we go to work. And Mahomes has been as good as anyone, as you guys are so spoiled and know. Again, I hope the weather gives both teams a chance to be the best versions of who they are. And I just don't know that we're going to get that. But that's a variable that would impact either side of things.
Sure. Shockingly, today in Kansas City, it's like 65 degrees in late November. It'd be great if maybe we had that on Monday night. You're right about Rasheed Rice. I don't think so either, but whatever the elements are, they'll figure it out.
All right.
But I think you're right about Rasheed Rice. I mean, he's just been really impressive, I think, for a rookie in Coach Reid's offense this year. 4 receiving touchdowns. He almost had 2 more receiving touchdowns against the Bears way back earlier this season, tackled at the 1 twice. But he's really developed. We'll see what he can do against the stout Eagles defense on Monday night. But what a matchup. Should be a lot of fun. Scott, hopefully I'll see you then, and really appreciate your time here today.
I'm thrilled to be there. We can't wait to get to Arrowhead, and I'd love to say hello in person. Thanks for having me in, and we'll say hey if you're out there in Chiefs Kingdom. I look forward to meeting as many people. Bring barbecue. I'll eat all of it, any and all.